Sup, everybody? Yes, you got the wicked lady hippie. We're at my bar, my rules, meaning there really aren't any. Well, manners. Sup, everybody? And it's the prettiest little thing. My husband just gave me this. Um, it's amazingly cute. It's got the bracelet and earrings, and the necklace is just divine. I love Native American things, and this is turquoise, and it's just a little bit chunkier than what I normally wear, but I really like it. And I've gotten things that I got into different habits that I had when I was younger. Yeah, the age is still a state secret. Yeah, yeah, Army veteran, published author. We got all kinds of secrets up there. Yeah, come on. Let's all find out what we hippies have been up to for the past 40 years. Sorry, guys, I just about dropped this. And isn't that the cutest thing for the girls? I'm trying to find a safe spot for it because, like, I have a lot of cards in here and you can't really fit a wallet or anything. So there's money and stuff thrown in there. There's no pockets, no zippers. It's a cute little thing. My doctor told me, she picked up my pocketbook and she said, "Dear God, I could pick up my car." It takes weighs as much. I was like, I'd always carried a lot of stuff. I never stayed in one place for very long, and I was out. Yeah, I was just busy, and I didn't use my own transportation until I moved to Georgia. That's been a real hoot. I do tend to jump over from topic to topic. So if you have something you want to talk about, let me know. We'll put it in the comments or we'll do something. I'm the only guy here, so this is just what you see is what you get. And I did want to be so small on the screen that you weren't quite sure if I was in the picture or if I was just standing on the chair because I was only a foot tall. So I'm trying to do this the way you're supposed to. I've actually checked a few of mine. I know why actors don't watch their movies because they look at them and they go, "Oh my God!" And now they're at home. They're on a big screen. You don't have to be a movie star to see it on the big screen. And, I didn't look at my first ones a lot, and I did check in occasionally. I did do that more so than I'm actually doing now. So basically, what you're going to see are all kinds of car pileups. It's just a clusterfuck in that first year, and not to mention actually when I came back after a horrendous injury, it took me a year to stand up on my own. And so I'm really glad to be back. But I'm not going to ever be, that's not going to be quite right. I have to compensate for that. And so I had changed my whole wardrobe in the last 2 years. I had been wearing like the 50s vintage dresses like Lucille Ball. Nobody knows what that is. Yeah, so, and every time I go out, "Where did you get that? What are you doing? Isn't that gorgeous?" That kind of thing. And it's so nice to hear that, especially at my age. I opened my closet and it's pouring down rain out here. It's like, and I knew Texas was flooded. I've been worried about San Antonio. I left San Antonio, moved back like 8 times, wherever I was at back, I think. So I was really worried about them, and there's just bad flooding all across Texas. And I love Texas. I loved it before I ever saw it. We got to write down, we were the first group of women to be trained with the men instead of a WAC, Women's Auxiliary Corps. We did not know that till we landed. And they told us, we'll send you back. It's nothing against you or anything, but you can stay if you want. So none of us, we were like, "Bring it." I think they made it this far. Screw you. So we had Vietnam Airborne Rangers for drills and COs, and I went in with rank. Don't do that. Shit rolls uphill in the Army. So whenever somebody screws up, they're on your ass. So and I had double trouble. It was like 4 days before we got there, and we sat down, hoping, well, okay, we got sheets and stuff. Now maybe we're going to go get to make a bed and get in it. It's been 4 days. I think once we got a 2-hour nap. We thought it was like a half a day, but it was. No, they didn't play around, and I thought I was in good shape. I had been in karate since I was like 7 or 8. My school, we had fencing, you had tennis, you had badminton, you had gymnastics, and I was in all of that. Swimming, we had Olympic-sized pools, 2, one for men, one for women. And my husband said that I didn't go to high school, I went to a resort. I took him there and showed him, and he was like, "Oh my God, you guys down here in Georgia, y'all have, my middle school was bigger." Y'all have this automobile. See some of your colleges, and I was not impressed at all. I don't mean to be rude about it, I'm just saying. I can understand why George is kind of like ranking down, yeah, as far as education. And I've been through, getting my son and stepdaughter through, and my grandchildren. My grandson's also an Army veteran. He said he didn't want grandma to be the only one to wear Army boots until he wore them. But I had him go through ROTC. He was semi-prepared. You never can be prepared. My eyelashes hurt until 1994. Like, another push-up? Did not just do 500 of those. They did not give the women any break, and we didn't want it. That was the whole experiment. Can women train to fight? You think a woman can use a weapon? You think she could use? I bet you. I bet you, down to a donut, she can. She got any sense, she'll do like me. I've stayed armed since I was 17. I mean, but my parents signed for me to go in early. I had college and everything done. So I went on what they called delayed entry for my age to catch up to being in the Army at 18. So, but you could get a waiver if you were 17. So I was 17, and I'd never held a weapon. My adopted father was World War II Navy, and so that was, my background. And I was just a bookworm, and I was always running through someplace, getting something. The libraries knew me so well, they didn't have me check out any books or I could bring it back when I wanted, because I would generally take out 7 or 8, and I'd be back the next day turning those in and getting. I used to go through libraries like, locusts. Now it's on Google. I don't have a damn second to look it up, but it's on Google. This is why I say I jump from topic to topic. I get to smoke a cigarillo now. There's the story. They made me quit smoking about 6 years ago. I like that. And so my husband tried to deal with me. That's not an easy thing, let me tell you. One of the things I got in trouble for, I started to tell you, was the Vietnam Airborne drill sergeant was looking through the records because he had said, we used to jump out of helicopters and kill people, so you need to be scared. I found that extremely funny. After 4 days without sleep, fell out. I'm all of 5'2", I weigh 90 pounds, no shit. 90 pounds. I'm in a suit that I made myself, skirts, blazer. And I'm gone. And when I let loose, everybody, I mean, just the whole, just caught up. Company for company. We were 3rd Battalion Bravo, women were. And now I see women fighter pilots taking off that carrier. Oh, sweet Jesus, baby girl. I don't mean respect the women, respect them women. Bring that back and sit it down like that. And then you just love that. I mean, Top Gun, you need to have her in there. She done passed Top Gun. And of course, her crewmates all like her. She's not mean or talking about race or none of that crap. I've never understood that in my entire life. I don't see people as colors. Earthlings would be good, I guess. I don't distinguish. Um, they say, this is racist, that is racist. Like with me saying, hey, African American or no, African month, whatever it is, Black History Month, I think, in February. Isn't that racist to everybody else? Yes. Why distinguish in the races? I've never got that. I'm a hippie. We never got that. We looked at you like you had a dragon head. We're like, what's wrong with you? Is there enough oxygen on your planet? When you need blood, do you yell out, I'm a Native American? So I fell out that day. And like I said, little bitty thing. And I was aced out as a secretary and a nurse, as far as I could go at that point before I came in. And because that's basically what WACs were. You weren't out there fighting with the men. And if they overran the men's position, well, you were up shit's creek because you had training or nothing. In any event, so he's got my records, and we've all got tags on him. And he's going like this. We didn't have a tablet. He's actually moving paper and carbon paper. It's just Bullock. You're from Chicago? You're from Cook County, Chicago, Illinois? Yes, sir, Justin. He said, you don't have a record. That can't be. I said, I tried real hard not to get one of them. Hello. It's just okay. You work for me from now on. So when we're not training, you have to come work with me in the office or down at the med center. And I'm like, no. In my head, actually, I said yes. And so I was 24/7, like I said. You would go from, a 5 mile hike in the sand, try that. Just go 6 blocks. I dare you to get back to me. So I had this stuff going on. They called me wicked. He didn't make me right then and there, and it stuck. I'm not going to say my age now. It's like on a need to know basis, and y'all don't have a real need to know, but you're awfully kind. I forgot to put on my live chat today too. There we go. So everybody can pop in when they want to. I have some girlfriends that are, my husband fixes their brakes and stuff. They live in my neighborhood. And well, I mean, we're kind of friends. We never get to go out together or do anything together. Everybody's working, everybody's doing stuff. But they come by and they'll get their car, and I get a hug, and get to talk to everybody. I have one that calls me Queen. She's such a sweet thing. At my age, we'll take anything. Yes, publicly acceptable works for me. That's the other thing I don't get. The Walmart thing. And it's bad enough they got us kind of whittled down to three things. It's Walmart, it's Target, and it's Kroger. So God only knows what happens when they don't work, because we actually went through that with the hurricane and spun the tornadoes here in Augusta, Georgia. Again, if you want to see me, say so, go comments. You're better off if you're in the live chats, but you catch me later. You go in the comments. I try to catch up. Again, it's not easy to look at yourself on a big screen. You're not going to think you did anything right. Just, I can't get anybody to come up here and talk and there's a lot of people I know that are great talkers, and we're all talking about this, that, and the other, like the Antichrist and UFOs and, paranormal, is ghost real? They're fucking real. You got cameras that you sneeze, 4 cameras don't pick that shit up. You're in a filing room 4 floors down from your desk. They get you walking along. What are you getting down in there? I love the motion sensitive ones. And I love the ones that are like, traffic lights and all of that. Because you can't mess with those. So what footage is coming from there? You're like, that freaking happened for real. Then you got the government who hid things since, Roswell. I know it could be a conspiracy. Maybe not. And then they come out with, we're going to release this footage that the government has of unidentified flying objects. They call them something else now, but they'll always be UFOs to me. I'm a hippie. And we've been watching that shit go around. I'm like, did you see that? I liked one of the pilots. What carrier he was on, but they had gone out and ran into these things, and he had actually got it in his sights. And he was going, look at that thing, look at that thing. Do you see it? Look at that thing. I fell out laughing. I was like, look at that thing. We'd all seen them before. I saw a pyramid. They had footage. One guy had 2 submitted footage to, I guess it was just YouTube, but they submitted footage of the actual Pentagon. They were driving on the highway. It turned out that both people were in some kind of college for photography. And there was this huge pyramid that was pointing down over the top of the Pentagon and slowly turning this way and that way. But they actually shot like a movie film of it. They got 15, 20 minutes to this thing. And I'm like, well, if they're just having a show, that's a damn good show. But I heard nothing about it after that. And this was like, even in, I think, well, now CNN is not news. Those political channels probably didn't say a damn thing, but everybody else did. And this is another reason I don't drop videos unless I'm asked to, because everybody had seen it. And it feels like being an author, it's like plagiarism for me to go, hey, everybody's talking about that particular video. Let's put it on for the show. That's just cheating. Because if you're telling me you want to look at one thing, you've seen it. We can talk about it till I am absolutely blue. And you never know. That might be an interesting color for someone to say they're racist about. Don't know. You've got gods that are blue in India, so isn't karma blue? Krishna blue. I think so. I love that. I love how they talk. That singing that they do is absolutely amazing. Very hardworking people. Work with them in hotels in different areas of my life. Amazing people. Never slept. It was like me. I went in at 17 in the late 70s. And you can all check, because you know that I was with the first company of women to train regular army, so it's not hard to get those records. And so, yeah, being in on several different things, the food stamp program. My mother-in-law and I worked on that together and came up with what y'all use cards now, but y'all used to use the little funny books that we called it Monopoly money. It caught on. I've been in the South too long. I will go from a northern accent to a southern one in a drop of a heartbeat. Again, there's no actual format here, as far as I'm concerned. It's just like on the '70s show when they told you for real, and everybody was passing one. I like the pre-roll. Uh, yeah, I'm still looking for something to hit me from above. I don't mean God. I mean the ones that like to pretend they're God. The one we call the government. Even President Reagan said this, nobody wants to hear. It's the worst words you can hear during a disaster is, "Hi, we're from the government and we're here to help." That was in the early '80s, well, middle '80s. It was like he spotted that one. He really did. I thought Reagan was absolutely funny as hell, and he made a good president. He really did. I tend to judge them after they're done. Can't tell what the hell they're going to do before they do it. Although the ones that don't like Donald Trump seem to understand something about us. No hate mail. I call him Donnie. He can call Kid Rock Bob. He's Donnie to me. I love that. I think he's funny as he can be too. I just saw the VP. JD is what her name said. I seen him. I seen him. He was he was on the Gutfeld show. He had been on The View, and Whoopi Goldberg was an ugly broad. Not that that's different most of the time. You can send mail on that. I could talk about that till like the next decade without a pause. Luckily, I never paid to see one of her movies, although I did see one and regretted it later. So I don't watch The View. I don't do any of that because I've caught clips and I've been like, and they're not racist? Are you sure? I mean, I know I really don't pay attention to color at all, but like, there's something going on here. I love how the one girl found out she was actually Puerto Rican and they used to own slaves. Her name's Summer or something. I can't remember. I know Whoopi's up there, and the other old broad. I can't remember her name either. But I already retired. Even I retired. Now the bad thing for me is I seem to have no time. No time. I get up. I do the same thing I would do if I was going to work. Get up, have coffee, grab everything, get presentable because you're going to be in public. Whether I only go to my mailbox, it bugs me. So, I mean, that's just the way we were brought up. Even if you were going to the mailbox, even as a child, you had to comb your hair, put on your decent shorts and stuff. Because that's actually when we would do that was summer because we were home. We weren't home. The 9 months it snowed. I loved when I found out I'm between Texas and here with my son and my stepdaughter that the snow days, I would just fall out laughing. But then again, I too would not drive anywhere when it was snowing or if they had said it was icy. I wouldn't drive. I'd make my husband take me and drive. I didn't drive until I was 35. Well, I drove and had a license. I was in the military, but not really civilian vehicles. I didn't own a car. I ended up buying 3. I loved my '68 Super Sport Camaro that my husband managed to sell while I was at work. Who knew? Both of us in the Army. And then had a divorce. Bad thing. Did my own divorce. And the judge is going, I approve of all this, but I want to know why you don't want any money. I was like, I make money. I have a job. I've had custody of the kid for like ever. He's 9. No, he was 7 or 8 then. But any of that, she's like, you don't want anything, child support, none of that. Nope. If I was not able to take care of my son, I would have given him to his father. But his father doesn't want him, so it's a good thing I do. She thought it was funny. I was serious. I had fired 3 attorneys between Georgia and Texas before I said, well, screw this. I'm going to the law library. I'm going to find out how you do this. I come back an hour and a half later, and I was at the courthouse the next day. Let me file this. I'll be back in 30 days. See the judge. That's how you do it, girls. It's a little more convoluted if you actually want something. To me, a divorce was to get rid of them. Maybe not said in the actual format, but if you're getting a divorce, it's because you don't want to be around them, and it's not worked out very well. So, and I had just got back to San Antonio, and I didn't want to go back to Georgia, so I did. And he lived right outside of San Antonio. He was like me. We kept going back, kept on trying, and the marriage just did not work. There was too many others. I had to get out of the way just to say, hey, what are we making for dinner? I mean, women. He was a good-looking man. He really was. He was nice, but give credit where, you know. So that was a long, 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 very long, a long, long time ago. And then I married the second guy, poor guy. But he's a semi driver. He's a ace mechanic, and I mean, he'll rewire a house and stuff like that. He's like he knows all of it. And he and I are not getting any younger, but he's still, like I said earlier, fixing some of these brakes. My car's still not running right. He says he's not sure what that is. It's been 2 months. Just throw it in neutral while you're sitting still at the light. I told him I was going to tell him. He was not happy. That's why I got the name Wicked. Hence, this is why I got that name. And just in case everyone wonders still, used to put my whiskey in a shot glass. I like my whiskey on rocks. So I was constantly filling the shot glass because the ice is melting. So it looked like I have 40 these little airplane bottles. My husband gets them for me. Yeah, they're whiskey fireballs. So you get versus cinnamon. I mean, it's a really good whiskey for me. And so I'm going to add that because I'm at my bar. Although I was wondering, and I'm sure everybody out there is the same, be you male or female. Like I said, now that I'm retired, I used to get my house clean, all that on the weekend, get all laundry done, get the house clean. And it didn't even seem like it was that dirty, you know. Maybe Saturday do that, be off Sunday. I can't get a damn day off. I am constantly cleaning. And before I turn around, it's like 4 o'clock, and I'm like, dude, we got to do dinner because I got to clean up after that. I don't want to be done at 9 p.m. because I hit this bitch at 6. And that's like a 15-hour a day, even if nobody's paying me. And this is after the accident. So my whole life is kind of encapsulated with trying to figure out where is my time going? Is this an alternate reality and everything speeds up? What's going on here? And so I decided to kind of pay attention to what I was doing yesterday. Kind of made a note, and up ready to face the public. I ate, had my coffee, ended up drinking coffee all day yesterday, sweeping, mopping, dusting, laundry, vacuuming, cleaning all the area rugs, cabinets, the appliances. And I'm writing all this down. I'm looking at it later. I'm like, well, no wonder I ain't fucking done till 6 or 7. Well, washing laundry, I was doing 4 other things. And the laundry, I started it before I'd even attempted to get me presentable. I was like, let that go. And I had left one in from the night prior just to get ahead to jump on it. And I didn't finish the laundry till this morning. I never stopped till I went to bed. There's just the two of us. But now I make him separate his house since he sleeps upstairs. He had throat cancer, and he's very loud snorer, bless him. So we turned it upstairs into 2 apartments. So he likes to stay up there. I like him to stay up there. It's good for the marriage. Really good. And so he keeps his own hamper. And of course, I have my own hamper now. Very strange. I admit, it's very strange. So he'll come down and he'll tell me, are you done doing clothes today? Because every day I'm washing the cleaning rags or some of the rugs, something. I wash it because I have cats. So turns out cats are not that clean. They will get stuff all over the place that you're not even realizing it until you go to take care of it. And so I was like, okay, well, I didn't go to the store this morning. I was out of coffee just about. I had enough for today. Coffees, my little cigars were low. I was like, I had already been outside. We have a bit of a shelter going. We put food and water out for any that that it needed, so that it'll be there twice a day, and it's always there every day for a couple of years now. So there are kittens and there are older cats, and then we have some that we don't see for a year or so, and they come back, and they know we were not going to hurt them, we're not going to try to touch them or anything like that. But I'm right in the middle of them when I'm feeding them and stuff. I don't try to touch them or anything because they're feral, and it scares them. It's not like they don't want to be loved. It scares them. I don't know why, but even from tiny kittens, it's like that. And I've raised many kittens here in this location. And it's hard. You really can't let them go once you've bottle fed them. You're like, they wouldn't understand what to do out there. So there are babies outside, and every once in a while there's a baby in here. Twice I had 4 at the same time. Have you ever tried to? Some people have tried to feed 4 infants, and 30, family members will come over and help. That's not my case, so I'm doing all this by myself. And them being so small, I had to keep them in the master bedroom. And then he threw one at me while I was laid up. I couldn't do anything, couldn't go anywhere. It was rough. It was really rough. I finally could get to a wheelchair to get out, but most places are not for handicapped. There's a handicapped parking spot. Somebody painted it, but there's no automatic door. The door opens inward. You even have the little ramp. So you can get to the door, but you can't open the door. You can try backing to it. No, you can't go at it from the front. So it's just, and I went to Burlington in the wheelchair because it was for Christmas. And I like to go there. They have stuff for everybody. I like just going there. I buy me a lot of stuff. But it was the same thing. And so I'm inside. There's no cart that's electrified or anything. You have to just use your wheelchair. I made it and finally he was even pushing it because I told him to go do what he wanted. And I was just exhausted after like 3 lanes. I was like, well, this isn't working. So he came around and pushed me around a bit. And I just was so uncomfortable. It was terrible to try to find anything because it's up here, the clothing and stuff. So I was like, no, I'll just do it online if I even bother. If this is the best they could do for handicapped people, I think somebody should report this shit because there are people who don't have limbs and they're in wheelchairs. So I guess they just don't want their business because I had a real problem with going back again. I haven't been back, which is unusual for me. I have been working for a lovely little company. And I'm not saying working for, I rate the products that they send me. And that might be, I got a pair of shoes I just adored. We called them platforms with cutouts in them and they're lace. I love it. I got 3 pairs now. And one is that pair of white, like sandals, leather sandals with little silver butterflies that look like they just landed there. It's great. They're all 3 just the cutest. And here I am at this age and with a bum leg. And I'm wearing these shoes that are platform. Just got to walk. So, but as I started to say, I keep the long, middling dresses and the floor length. So this. I'm wearing just a pair of pants and my leather boots, and this comes out. This is a little jacket, and it comes out in a scallop to the back. It's really cute, and ties back there. So it's really, really cute. The look is, and it's like I said, the ruffles. It's got 2 sets and they go back, and it works good with boots as long as you dress it up, I think. So this is as I started to say, this is the casual you will see me probably ever. I'm generally in something like, a suit or a dress or floral dress. People go, where are you going? Go to the mailbox. What you doing? I might go with you. Cheers. So any of you that are here and that you're stuck with me this far, been a half an hour. So you guys are like perfectly wonderful. You guys should get like medals because I will jump from topic to topic. Unless somebody in live chat says something, then I'll address that. Otherwise, I'm a hippie. I get up here to actually opine about anything and everything that crosses my mind. This is a bar. That's a real drink. And this is a real cigar. I will let one rip sometimes when I'm in the mood. Don't clean up that language like a lady ought. Sometimes the lady gets behind the one with the weapon. Hmm. My husband lets me have these only when I'm broadcasting. Now it's 3 days only a week. It used to be every day. Since the ex, I can't. I just can't. I don't do it all the time. Just 3 days a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If I miss a day, you can look for me. I usually try to make it up on the weekend. But these go out when I'm talking, and that's what you do up here is you talk. So they go out. And so he allows that because I'm not actually smoking 20 cigarettes a day or 10 or what have you. It's just on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I can have this, I can have my drink. And now he doesn't tell me I can't have a drink. But my entire family, adopted and biological, almost all to a person, they're gone, died from cirrhosis of the liver. They all drank heavily. Um, I could understand it in my adopted dad because, well, he'd been in World War II at Pearl Harbor on leave, and his brother as well. Back in those days, if anybody knows of the story of the Sullivans, there were five of them, and they put them all on the same ship, and the ship was blown up. And the one Sullivan was still alive, and they kept getting him back in the boat. Well, whatever it was, the lifeboat, and he kept yelling and for his brothers. And suddenly he leaped out and he was just swimming around crying for his brothers. I don't know how long they'd been, without water or food or anything. Anyway, they lost all five of them because of that. And after that, they did not, that was World War II. After that, they didn't allow siblings to serve in the same unit. Because, if they wiped out that unit, then at least one of the siblings was alive. And they had a habit basically of letting that child go, hey, you're done. But we had the draft and all back then. So there was a different time. I went in peacetime. The only peacetime that's been in about the 20th and 21st century, basically not the 21st, it's just the 20th century was the only peacetime, and I served during that time. I had a blast. I had an absolute blast. You can imagine, I mean, it was legal for us to drink back then because, well, I had a fit. I flew into O'Hare, Chicago one time, and I was, I think, a few months shy of being 21, and I'd been all over the world. In fact, I believe I flew in from Germany. And my son was born in Heidelberg, Germany, so I'm back and forth in Europe and back home if I'm needed. And they were older parents, like grandparents, so things didn't go well right away. And so I was waiting on my brother to come pick me up because I'm like 2 hours from, where my parents are. And he lives like next door or something, so he has to come get me from O'Hare. And I go into the bar, of course, I'm used to doing that. Like I said, I'm almost 21. I've been serving since I was 17. So I wasn't your normal 17-year-old as it was. I was a lippy bitch. So yeah, the hippies kind of rubbed off. So I go in there, and this little bartender, she says, you're not quite old enough. Says, I carry a weapon, right? I couldn't because I was on the flight. But my point being, hello, if I can serve my country, I see my earring pieces. There it goes. These dangle down from here. If I can do all that, you need to give me my damn drink. I was not happy. I had never been turned down in all that span of time. And even at 17, when we had leave, I went out to the bar with everybody else. We just had our ID, our military ID, our Army IDs. And that's all we carried on us. We were used to not having nothing on us, And we always dressed in our Class A uniforms. The fatigues, you went in your dress uniform. You didn't have civilian clothes while you were training. They took all that stuff up there and put that away. So when you went on leave, you didn't have a choice. They didn't let you wear fatigues off base. You had to, be dressed uncovered, right? I didn't see that in today's Army, but I love them. And whatever works. So, yeah, it was a different time, and it was a great time, and I'm glad that we were in on the front part of that. It also kind of verifies that I'm old as dirt. Like I said, I opened my closet today, and I stuck my head in there. I said, "You got anything in there to make an old woman look good? That damn door shut." Yeah, okay, next closet. I had to. And I switch out the laundry or the clothing, however you want to put it, from season to season. So, you've got summer for me, summer and winter only. And so they're bundled up and they're thrown in bins, and the bins are stored in the attic. And then I switch them out. And now I'm old and I just buy new clothes. I really should have one of those yard sales. My husband told me that I actually had to have a permit. I was like, "Squeeze me?" I've never had one, but my mother used to drag me to them all the time, and that's where she got our clothes. I had a pair of red velvet pants from there that I'd never find a place to wear. Red velvet, they were bell bottoms. Even some of us who wore bell bottoms, we didn't wear what I call the elephant bells, which was it was not a good look. Not on shorter women, and I'm short. So yeah, I want to see hippies unite. Get out here, do your own show if you don't want to come on mine. I have a lot of friends, like I said, that are very intelligent. They won't speak on camera. They will talk up here at the bar all day, any day, not a problem. But if my microphone is up at the bar, they don't want to be in the house because they don't trust me. That's a smart thing. I'm not a good person. I will turn it on. Just fuck with you. I'm old. I don't give a shit anymore. Like, what are you gonna do? So they don't trust me. It gets easier and easier to sit up here and talk to y'all. Like I said, I've been asked how you do that. I've had others that just won't do that. And I'm like, this is the best thing they've invented since AC. Your president, old Donnie, love you, Donnie, keep it up. President Trump's second term, after they screwed him out of the second run, which he actually won because Georgia is as dirty as, I don't even know how dirty. We could teach Russia shit on steroids, I'm telling you. Georgia, dirty, but I moved out of here 3 times. Because but I ended up settling where my son is, and I've always been next to a base. I generally worked at a base. I was either attached to the base one way or another. And I think unconsciously, I end up next to a base because I'm retired here. I don't have to work. But I do rate this place, and I get all kinds of neat stuff, as I was saying before. But I can't say who they are because I'm not paid to do that either. But I do use the things, and I send a rating back, and I'll get 2 or 3 more things. I get the cutest things from them. It's really amazing. I've gotten several. Like I said, the vintage dresses, I've gotten several. The longer ones I have to hem, but that's the only difference. And I like the material. They look just, there are some that you get that aren't great. You have to return. It's like, no, I got a swimsuit. I think I'm not sure anything human could wear it. I couldn't figure out what he could. And I love brooches over here. My husband will get me some. I get some occasionally, but I have a box or so full of just brooches. Some of them I forget to take off, so they go through the dryer and inevitably break. So they don't. I mean, just the little pin in works. And I said, I got that model glue, whatever. I'm gonna put some safety pins on. I really like the brooches. I end up ordering that second one. So if I ever do decide to do anything with them, I have a box full. Sometimes they come to me and there's not a thing to connect it. I got 2 swans one time, and they're still waiting for me to fix that. You don't want to get. They were like $3 or something, and I'm not sure if that even was where I didn't have to pay for them. They just sent them for me to rate. That could have been what it was, because I've done it for some time. And even during my hiatus, I did. I still got dressed every day, showered. God, you're gonna love those. The ones you can take down. And my husband got me, the shower chair, and I could get into my head and everything back and get all that done, and did the same thing in the front. It was great. That was a lifesaver for me, especially during the hurricane, which hit the day I was supposed to have surgery. So I had already waited 2 weeks, and finally, after 4 weeks, they sent me to the University of Augusta, and the surgeon saw me, and he said, "This happened to you a month ago?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they said, "Tylenol." And I'm like, I am not happy. I'm not sure why I've blown my head off. I don't even know how I've been withstanding pain like this for a month. It was broken. My one leg was broken in 3 places. The ankle was detached, and they just barely had it held on with these 2 side pieces of ace fucking wraps. I don't know what's going on with me. When they had to carry me out of my house, they didn't they didn't secure anything. They didn't try to make sure this limb didn't move or that limb didn't move. They just rolled me onto a sheet, and I was like, "Oh my!" I'm screaming blue murder. I mean, I'm in there, and the doctor comes up and goes, "Is it right here?" And grabbed one part of the worst part of my leg on one side, and I tried to kill her, but I couldn't get off. Couldn't get off. And she come back and she's like, "Here's what's going on with this leg." And I still wanted to kill this broad. She was actually a doctor. She was the most asinine bitch I've ever met in my life. And then they tell me they won't do it. I have VA. I go by the VA insurance. Um, and not so much insurance is what like whatever it is I qualify for. And I qualify for a lot. Most of us veterans do. And so I get all that done there. And if there's extra or whatever, it's at a much lower price than it would be, say, in a regular hospital. I'm not sure why, but I've worked at a VA off and on until I retired as well. And this one, it's great. It's really great. They got a women's clinic, and they opened a new one that used to be a college, and they made it into the VA uptown. Downtown is the VA hospital that does all of its other stuff, surgeries and everything. My father-in-law actually passed away there. He was a Korean vet, and we lived down by Macon, and we would drive him up here and then drive him back. And back then, you had to sit with this big broom, and it was the downtown location. And somebody would eventually see him, and then they would find somebody who would see him for what he needed to have done, which was redo his medications for months. And somebody finally figured it out. We're going to give you 6 months at a time, or 3 months in my case, at a time. And that was after I was like, I can't get around, so you guys got to get this straight. And I love the site. I'm not going to mention what it is, but we veterans use a particular website now, and have since, of course, the pandemic. Love that, the China virus. Donnie's right. It's the China virus. If you can fucking call it the Spanish flu or the Spanish influenza, which is another thing entirely, it will kill you. It's the same thing, only a master lead, bioed weapon that they made, that we paid for, and that they absolutely intentionally released and killed millions of people worldwide in a pandemic, and they got off scot-free. Not to mention what happened, the side effects with all the shots everybody was getting. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I did catch it. I caught it before they actually came out and said it was there. I thought I was going to die. I had it for 5 days. It was the worst part. And I was home alone. There was nobody. And I had a really, really bad time. I'm like crawling to get to animals' food and stuff. It was bad. I couldn't keep anything down, couldn't breathe right. It was a mess. And the headaches and the body aches, all of it. It was just, and being able to breathe. I was lucky I had an inhaler at the time. So I think that also helped me get through the part that I was having trouble with. And I used a lot of natural herbal remedies. There's a lot of things you can do for yourself. And I found that out, and I've got all that stuff. So I was drinking the golden milk and hitting this with natural things as well. And I think that's the only reason I didn't end up having to be either found and hospitalized or passed away while I was alone, because it was bad. And then I saw everybody dying, and I was like, oh God, And I hit it with every kind of thing I could come up with. Everything I could come up with that I had either, given to me and so forth and so on. And I had particular medications that also protected lungs. So I was very fortunate because I caught it, like I said, long before it actually hit the news channels, as they called themselves. Then they reported how people were just dropping 3 seconds after getting the antidote, the antivirus, whatever, the vaccine. And get another one, and I'm like, you people are stupid. Didn't you see this guy died? This kid came back autistic. I mean, you can't do it that way. You can't. Yeah, polio, they did that way. They took a shot. And I can understand taking a shot at it because it was the pandemic and millions of people died. But to make people come back, and to put the country on hold for 2 years wasn't necessary. And to tell people to wear a mask everywhere they went, well, that's a kind of helpful thing. Not by much, because the particles, if you stay 6 feet away, you're pretty good. That's about, if you sneeze, cough, you can see it on the time frame photos. It'll come around in a mist, and it's about 3 to 6 feet. So you're pretty good at 6 feet. But the mask itself, and I've been in my own lab coat. We'll put it that way. There's things I cannot talk about. You don't you're good with it for a little bit, but you've got to stay away from people, because if they spit, and they do, if they cough or sneeze, it will get on the mask and it'll just ferment in this mask. And a lot of people weren't changing the mask. So if they went to one store, throw it away while you're in your own car, you're in the air. And when you get out at the next place, get a new one and stay 6 to 8 feet from people and try not to touch anything unless you're wearing gloves. It's that bad. It was that bad then. And they learned, the ones who did this. Okay, we're going to call it the China virus, but there's a whole bunch of people saying we paid for it. Then, of course, it was accidentally let out of the Wuhan lab. No, it wasn't. And if it was, they knew that the people that they let travel to the rest of the world was fucking sick, and they were going to give it to everybody they came in contact with. We call that a bioweapon attack. And it should have been a clear response as to what was going on here. It hit all of the NATO countries. The North American Treaty Association, NATO, they have never had, and I agree with Donnie on this, they've never had our back. Never. We're actually defending countries. We're letting them get tons of money from us. So we lose money, and they don't allow our products in. Oh, we're not good enough, but we're good enough for you to do this, that, and the other. We're good enough to keep NATO going as far as funds go. We're going to pay for all that too. And if somebody does come after you, well, you don't really need an army since you don't have one. We'll throw some boots on the ground over there. And we got 45,000 in Germany and Italy and France and wherever we have a base. We technically keep 50,000 troops there. Sure, we'll help you out. No. Yeah, I think the troops should be there because all of us should learn that it's a world. It's not just us. It's not just them. It's all of us. President Reagan, when he wanted to do Star Wars, said it. He said, what if your opponent was not somebody from another country or somebody you think's another color? What if your opponent was from some other place besides this planet? And I thought, okay, he's got it. Nope. I thought again when they released the UFOs recently, Donnie did this. I'm sorry, President Trump, we'll go with the right one. He did this. He released them in 3 different batches. And okay, they covered up Roswell. They covered up all this shit. Even Mexico, once they go down to Mexico, they pick them up. They bring them. I don't know where they bring them. But in any event, don't tell the people. And people already knew. People at death's door admitted it and said, they covered this up and they tried. They intimidated us, and if we'll disappear with this shit, and kind of thing, And this happened over and over. People are looking out there going, "That's a fucking UFO, man! I've got it on film." And they're going, it's just, probably a flare. Like everybody in the world was just absolutely stunned stupid. So, things like that I like to talk about. I also like to talk about, like I said, the static cameras that are picking up shit everywhere. I watched one dude walk through a fence. No, I don't mean just, I mean a chain link fence with the thick ones and then bars in certain sections of this. He walked through it like it was not there. You could go frame by frame and see as his body come through this thing as if he didn't have one. And yet, it was still him. But he walked through this thing like it was not there. I've seen videos where they're watching, they watch everything. I like the one from China again, and the guy's really his card out. It's late, it's dark, and it's raining or it has rained, and he's coming across this crosswalk, and another vehicle coming towards him. I don't guess could stop to see him. It was dark, and he didn't have any lights on his stuff, but he's like slamming on his brakes. But suddenly, this street comes out. You can see. I don't know any other. It's like a movie. This street comes out, and there's a poof sound. The guy in his little car is not there. He's over on the sidewalk. And this guy that is sitting there has a hoodie and everything, and his hands are blazing, like crackling lightning. And then he shoves them in his pockets and walks off out of camera range. Nobody knows where he went, but this guy didn't die. Where did that guy come from? I saw one that had an old country road. It might have been a trail camera. All of us have cameras, ring cameras, cameras for the door, cameras for the car. I love the Russians with the cameras in the car. They get some shit going on. They do. Told. Sorry, this will not stay lit while I talk to you. I'm about to get off. But so yeah, there's all kinds of stuff we hippies can talk about now, just like that. You know, I love Cheech and Chong. They're my heroes. Love you guys. Hey man, y'all do a perfect job. You really do. I'm one of you guys. If Cheech and Chong can do it and I can do it legally, I am with my dudes. Okay, love them. Yeah, I loved them for ever since I saw them when they first came out. When we were always still young, and no, I didn't have a crush. I did have crushes, but I didn't have I'd be 17 with crushes and going to the army with men. It'll kind of cure your crush thing for a while. Because you don't know if they're going to have to, you're going to be defending yourself or them or what have you. I fidget when I get up. Like I say, he just gave me this piece and I'm not used to it. It's kind of want to do something that I don't want it to do. In any event, so ladies, get in touch with me if you have any ideas, if you want to tell me what to do, please. I get up here and I do this because I think, like I said, it's the best thing since they invented AC. You get up here and you can do whatever you want, talk about whatever you, within reason. Although I've heard that people have gotten up there with weapons talking about they're going to do this or that. Again, people, please, people aren't certain colors. There shouldn't be a color for one race and not for every race. There should be a month of that. That's racist. I can tell you, my son made me do my DNA, and I had told him before I said it exactly what it was. I was absolutely right. And sometimes I like being right because I was adopted. They told me my records were court-ordered sealed. Went twice. My brother freaked out both times. He went with me. And I'm like, sealed? Why? I was, I was like 3, and my sister was like 1. Well, we were taken into the Catholic orphanage there in Cook County. And you can't find the birth records of the people, although they did reach out to me via my Army records and so forth when I turned 30. The only advice I have for any of you on that level is dye your hair, leave your place, holy water and match behind you, color your hair a different color, get rid of your phone, move to another state. Sometimes this stuff don't turn out very well. You're like, okay, I'm the only female that works, and you don't think it's a good idea, and you think you can tell me that I ought not to. That was hysterically funny. Don't you know I didn't listen to a damn word they said? I was like, you want me to nothing? Oh no, the women raised the children. And I was the sole parent to my son, and I'm, single. Good way to be. Just stayed there longer, but yeah, so it didn't turn out well because I was a career-oriented woman. I had always worked, even in schools. I was worked the principal, the dean, somebody, and that's how I paid for things. Was working from the time I was like 9 or 10. I had to pay for my karate lessons. If I got a new belt, I had to pay for it. No matter whether I wanted, I had to pay for getting it to add to my key, my uniform, little white thing. So that was, you had to do that. When I grew up, we were poor. They didn't have food stamps. They finally got around to having government cheese. I think it was peanut butter. We had peanut butter, cheese, evaporated milk. I think that was the only one that we had. And we didn't start getting those till I was a teenager because Daddy would end up having to go on strike. He was a Teamster. When he got out of the Navy, he was a Teamster. He worked on the docks, unloading what my husband drove for 60 years or whatever, semi-trucks, he worked for Sears. And the man he would take a cooler of beer with him. Basically, it was like a case of beer every time he went to work. And every time he was at home, he went through a case of beer in, that 24-hour period. Or if you didn't, it was real close. It was, I mean, every day. So he had to buy 7 cases a pay period. So he did not like Franklin Roosevelt, who started those taxes. He was pissed. That and when they started rebuilding Germany, and the man was he just went spare. It's gone. And I felt bad for him. I did, because I could understand where he was coming from. Even though he was Navy or what have you, the services tend to meet each other. We all love each other. We always do. And I can't say that's true about anybody unless they're involved in or around the military or service to their country. I do not count Congress as service to your country. I used to work up in the DC area, as I mentioned previously. Loving the reflecting pool, Donnie. Great job. I could tell you from the 80s, it was a freaking disaster. We'll put it this way, the Watergate Hotel was still open. We used to go to the bar there for lunch. We called it the 2 Martini Value Lunch. We had a good time in the 80s. We really did. In the 90s, but then they came out in the 2000s and said, oh, we were addicted. No, we were old. We hurt. It worked. Get away from us. It was okay for us to pay our insurance. It was okay for us to pay the pharmacy. It was okay to pay the doctor, but it wasn't okay to take the shit. You've been doing that for 20 years, and they come up and they go, you can't do that no more. No, you can't make that up. So here I had like 12 medications that worked, and they took off like 4. And nothing worked. You hurt everywhere. You just couldn't get through a day without just crying, just about. For me, it was long, hot, soaks in the tubs and, icy hot and all those things that you try. My back and the muscles, I don't know what it's from, but anyway, it does some seizure shit. So that was what I was taking this for. They're telling me, oh, your hip is deteriorating. We need to replace it. That was like 3 years ago. I think they'll call when I'm around 78 or 79. I don't know. So long. So considering what I've been through, this was a good thing. But I did reduce everything, like I said, my purse and everything, because, my doctor says, what have you got in here? There are weights in there. Just digging through my purse. And I'm like, look here, bro. You're lucky I address you as doctor, because they're actually nurses who are trying to become, I don't know what, but they're not doctors. And I used to put together the tests that doctors took. And like the University of Texas Health Science Center, when I ran those 3 hospitals, that was, those doctors were all students. So I put together the test, not by myself. I mean, they would give this to me and I would get it ready, type it up, get it all. We didn't have Xerox. So you had 120 doctors. You had to do this 120 times, unless you used carbon paper, and you could, get away with 65 or whatever to duplicate it. So that was, and I'm like, they graded these guys on a curve so wide, I looked at this stuff on a curve and I was like, we're fucked. It was I mean, it was my own department, and I'm like that, as you can tell. I'm one of those, you got to lead, follow, or get out of the way. I'm one of those that says, get the hell out of the way. I got this. So come and see me, Hippies Unite. I've got my time in just about. My husband just scooted out. So I got to get ready. I decided I would make pork chops tonight because he's fussing that I didn't cook. And he annoys me a lot when he does that. So chill, hang in there. Throw something in the comments if you saw anything. If you didn't like it, say so. Maybe we could change it. I highly doubt that, but we could. Probably not. Yes, I was trying to be entertaining. So come and see me. Get your friends to come and see me. Or tell me what you didn't like. Let's see if we can work on that. Hell, nobody's perfect. Although I'm pretty damn close. I'll see y'all on Friday. I might even go out the window here a little bit and try to put one in on Saturday as well. Depends on how my Friday goes. So everybody out there, chill. I'll see you on Friday. Peace out.